So we're back to the layers, transfers. You know me on transfers.
Transfer crazy.
Transfers. A great way to add yet another layer to your faux encaustic. This is a waterslide decal, and it is printed, this particular one is printed on laser printer. However, this company does make them for inkjet. You just need to have an extra step to fix it before you do what we're going to do. And if you go to the website, we'll provide that information for you. It has all the instructions on how to print these and use them.
Right, and also I know that Sandra has worked with these extensively in some of the other books, so I know off the top of my head that Mixed Media Revolution features a lot of information and step-by-steps on how to work with waterslide decals.
Right, and I think it has the source of where to get these, and so for more information, but there's nothing like seeing it in action.
Absolutely.
Rather than reading it. So this comes in an 8.5 by 11-inch sheet. This is a photograph I took. I played with it in Photoshop and colored pencil to get this effect. And in printing, white is not a color, yellow is very transparent. So we're going to be able to see this background coming through. And it's a very similar color palette, so it's almost going to blend in. You're almost only going to see these lines. So it's going to add a graphic element. I want to trim off this little edge of white just because it'll be clear, but I don't want that edge there. I want it further over. So I'll just use my scissors, trim this down. And you can see the other edge I actually tore. Right. So now you're going to take this, put it face down into the water, and just slip it in there really quick. You want to be careful with this that you don't get drops of water on it before you're going to use it, and then it dries, because then you're
trying to keep it flatter in there.
Right. It'll want to curl up.
Right. Okay.
If you use a warmer water, it'll go faster, but it really only takes 30 seconds to a minute. In the meantime, we're working on this encaustic board, and remember, it's very absorbent. I'm going to mist just a little bit of water on here. And then I want you to take some of this polymer medium gloss.
And kind of on the top half where we plan to put
use your brush. Okay. And what this is going to do is it gives it a little extra, and you don't need very much, and just slap it on there. It gives it a little extra wiggle room, like if you get your transfer on here and it's not where you want it, you'll be able to slide it a little more. Okay. And now to check to see if your decal is ready, you're going to put your hands in and you're going to see if it slides on that backing paper.
Yeah, it's sliding.
Okay, so hold it up, let it drip into the pan, most of the water off, and then we're going to put it in between some paper towels and blot it. Just to get the extra water off.
Okay.
All right, so we've decided where it's going to go.
Yeah, for like this.
Okay, so you're going to slide it off this backing paper, and it might be easier if we do it this way. So let's line up that edge, and I'll help you hold it there, and then we'll pull from either side here. And that's why it's called a waterslide decal. There we go. And you see how you can see that texture below? You can use your brush to work out any air bubbles. And they might develop after...
I was going to say, I don't feel too many. There's some here, but like not... Like
over time though, because this encaustic board is porous, so it's got air in it, you might see some popping up after a few minutes. So for maybe 5-10 minutes, you want to go back and check it. You can even use your finger to smooth it down. Okay. Now, one of the things, why there's so many different transfers, why would you use this one as opposed to another one? This one has to be on a smooth surface.
Okay.
If you had a heavily textured surface,
it wouldn't, you wouldn't be able to get it wouldn't actually stick.
That's where you might use the gel transfer like we did earlier, because that gel is, that viscosity is going to be thick enough to hold that.
Okay.
Once this dries, it's important to let it just stay flat and dry for at least a couple of hours. After that, you're able to distress it or paint more on top of it.
Sand it back a little bit.
I'm just going to blot it off slightly.
Okay.
And you can see how it looks like wax because I can see those colors behind there. And it's like magic in that it's like wax, but it's, you know, it's pretty smooth. So I love these things.
Yeah.
So, water slide decals.
Okay.
Hey, I made it this time.
It's about time.
One of my favorite things to use, and we're going to actually add it to this piece too. But this is, you know what this is?
It is Scampy paper?
No.
Oh, is this fusible webbing?
Fusible webbing.
Okay.
You see, it's like
Yep.
looks like a dryer sheet, and it's on a backing paper. And what we're going to do is put some very watered down paint. So you can get that out of there. And we're going to use some of this.
I think I probably put too much out, but you know, whatever.
Whoa, yeah.
It just came out.
She likes that
Came
color.
out.
She really likes that color.
I do really like that color, but still.
So
Okay.
let's put some water on it. A lot of water. That's good. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Got it mixed up. We're just having too much fun here. I hope you guys are too. Now, kind of just put it on here, and it's still on the backing paper. You can even add a little extra water onto here. That's probably good. We can add another color for fun.
Okay.
This one's already watered down, so let's just put some of that on. And
that's exactly the color I would have suggested.
well, of course, I read your mind. All right, kind of a purple.
I like that.
Let's throw a little more water on there. And you see how it's doing, this is what I love, this is the backing paper that's wrinkling.
Okay.
So we're gonna leave this on here to dry. Before it's completely dry, I'm gonna pull it off, but if I pulled it off now, I'd lose that effect of the wrinkles.
Okay.
So we'll set that aside and dry. I made this one earlier, and you can see that it's similar in color to this piece. And so I'm going to show you how we can even add this in. And it can just be a little bit of it. It doesn't have to be this whole thing. You can tear it. You can cut it into shapes. I'm going to just kind of, these are those little pieces where the backing paper beaded up, so it gave it kind of a, let's tear that. It's a great way to
nice.
add another
nice.
little collage element to your piece. Let's put it this way. There we go. So you could put this down with a little bit of the polymer medium, and it is transparent. However you want to do
Get a
that.
clean brush, maybe.
Okay. Since you like that blue so much, we're going to have to use that in something else.
I know. Oops.
But you just put the polymer down. You could use the soft gel gloss, but I find that it's always good to match the weight of the paper to the medium. So this is so lightweight that I think using the polymer medium is the best thing. And did you put some there too? So
I did, yes.
Okay. So maybe just a little bit, and then take some polymer and put it on top and make sure it's glued down, and we have yet another layer. And you can do these in any color that you like. I have found, of course, I found a low-tack alternative to these. And if you use dryer sheets, I like to use the dryer sheets. After you've used the dryer sheet, I use it a few times. Then I throw it in the wash it, and then I have a piece of paper that's like that. The only part is you don't have the backing paper, so you get a different effect. But it's another cool way to add a kind of translucent layer.
And I really love the way this looks.
Yeah.
It's great.
Pretty simple, but it's already coming together, and it has that waxy look.
Great.
So we've got one other thing to show of Gampy.
This is the Gampy paper.
This is the Gampy. This is it's G-A-M-P-I, and it's a silk tissue, and it's made with silk fibers. It looks like tissue paper, but it's strong. Now you see I have it kind of taped down here.
Right.
You could tape it to a piece of copy paper, run it through your printer, an inkjet printer.
I was just going to ask. Okay.
And then spray it with a workable fixative.
Okay.
Then you can adhere
so that it doesn't smear.
Exactly. and you can adhere it. With the polymer medium, it's going to disappear. This one I made by just rubbing over a texture plate with a colored pencil. This one I've done stamping, and if we put that in there, this paper would disappear and you would see these dots.
All that would be left would be the dots.
Right. Do you want dots there or no? She likes this piece. We can put it on.
Maybe we could do like a little bit of dots.
Okay, so I've got some stamp on the Gamby tissue, and I want to cut some small pieces to add into here.
Okay, and I know that we did a lot with Gamby paper and different things we could do with it. Different ways we could apply surface designs to it. Yeah, exactly. And Sandra's other DVD on Venetian plaster and mixed media, so be sure to check that one out if you're really interested in all the things you can do with Gamby paper.
And you can like place this around where you think you might want it to go. Now remember, it's not going to be this square shape. It's going to, you're just going to see the dots.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So wherever you decide you may want it, it's going to just be the dots.
And do I adhere beneath it or just right over the top of it?
I would put a little bit underneath and then place the tissue down and then smooth it out with more. Do you see how that paper disappears?
That's cool.
So you may want to change your mind where you might want the next one by looking at your design.
Right, right. Yeah, that's kind of what
I'm doing.
Do
you
you
want me to cut some more for you?
No,
Okay.
I think we've got enough here. I just see that there's some areas that are less filled maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And
We've
I
got
think those will
4,
fit
so I'm going to
nicely.
cut one more so we have 5.
Okay, because you can't ever have an even
No.
number. That would just be wrong.
Yeah, just be wrong.
Okay.
Do you think you need one up there? No? You like it?
Yeah, I like it the way it is.
Okay. And that's Gamping.
That's Gampy. Okay.
Yeah, I love it.